Hi everyone! Today I will be showing you how to make your own face mask, which includes a nose closure and filter pocket. Before we get started, I just wanted to issue a disclaimer that these masks are not meant to replace the N95 masks worn by healthcare workers and are designed to be an alternative to the cotton masks that many are wearing to prevent contagion. Although this mask may require a bit more sewing, this mask is reusable and pieces such as the wire and filter can be removed for washing. Before we get sewing, here is a step-by-step guide to the pattern making process. To draft the pattern, grab a piece of paper and cut a rectangle that is 6 inches by 5.5 inches. Then, fold your paper in half and cut along the lines. The result should be 2 rectangles of the same size. To create the outer and inner liner pattern, from the top left corner, make a mark 1 inch down. From the bottom left corner, make a mark 2 inches up. From the top right corner, make a mark 1/2 inch towards the middle, and then make another one 2 inches down. Lastly, from the bottom right corner, mark 2 inches inwards. The result should look like this. Now, connect the dots as shown, the top left mark to the top edge and the bottom left mark to the bottom edge. After that, connect the right side markers in a curved fashion like so. You can first create a dotted outline as a guide. Now, taking the piece of paper we previously cut before, stack the pattern on top and cut like so. As a result, we will have 2 separate patterns. One will become the pattern for the outer and inner liner, and the other we will transform into the pattern for the mouth. For the mouth pattern, taking the long edge at the top, measure inwards 3 inches and make a mark. Similarly, from the bottom edge, measure inwards 2.5 inches and make another mark. Then, connect the 2 marks with a vertical line and cut along this line. As a result, you will then have your mouthpiece pattern. Now moving on to what you'll need. The pattern for the outer and inner liner and the mouthpiece. 2 7.5 inch pieces of elastic. You can adjust the length based on head size, or hair ties or rubber bands would work as well. Fabric for the outer liner. Here we're using pink cotton. Fabric for the inner liner. Here we have white cotton flannel. And fabric for the mouthpiece. Here we're using gray cotton flannel. Note that you can use whatever fabric that you have on hand. We're using 3 different colors to show distinct steps. In addition, if you require a nose closure, you will also need 2 pipe cleaners. With that being said, let's get started. Begin by cutting all necessary pieces of fabric. Here we're using weights and a rotary cutter. What you want is 2 pieces of the outer liner, 2 pieces of the inner liner, and 2 pieces of the mouth. Now, taking the 2 outer liner pieces, sew the curved edges together. I place the foot about 1/4 inch inwards, and don't forget to backstitch at both ends. Repeat the exact same process for the 2 smaller mouthpieces. Taking the mouthpiece with the seam side facing towards you, fold the right edge inwards about 1/4 inch and sew down to finish off the side. Then repeat the same process for the other side. Taking the inner liner, find where the point is near the top edge. Then align the point of the mouthpiece with that of the inner liner. Then, taking the outer liner, flip it so the raw edge faces you. Then align the point to that of the mouth and the inner liner. Try to flatten that raw seam of the outer liner so then it lays flush against the mask. Then pin that section down. Repeat the pinning process all the way around the mask. Ensure you flatten the seam at the other side of the raw edge as well. Lining up the edge of the mask to the edge of the foot, sew all the way around the mask except leave one of the short sides open. Ensure that you backstitch and make sure to remove the pins as you sew along. After removing the finished mask, you can trim off any edges that do not align properly. Then, make diagonal cuts on the right side corners like so. Make sure you do not cut the seam. In addition, make 6 small vertical cuts along the top edge. This will help us flip the mask inside out as shown on the screen. You can use a disposable chopstick to gently push out the corners. To finish off the open edge, push the corners inwards about 1/4 inch and fold down. Now we want to sew all the way around the perimeter of the mask. Placing the foot of your sewing machine about 1/8 inch into the mask, sew along the edges. Pivot the fabric as necessary. After sewing, it should look like this. If you choose to have a nose piece, sew a line about 1 inch down and 1 inch from the side on the mouthpiece to create a pocket for the wire. After sewing, it should look like this. For the earpieces, take an elastic and join the 2 ends together. I like to use a zigzag stitch for added strength. Repeat the same for the other elastic. Now you should have 2 finished loops. Now, taking one of the loops, slide it over the edge of the side of the mask and fold in about 1/4 inch. Then sew down to secure the elastic. Make sure that you backstitch on both ends. Then repeat the same on the other side. Now you should have a completed mask. For the nose enclosure, I will be using 2 small pipe cleaners. For the mask filter, I will use a blue shop towel. For the nose closure, I like to take 2 pipe cleaners and twist them around each other like this. I then fold the ends down to avoid sharp edges. This then fits nicely into the pocket we created earlier. To make the filters, I then divide the shop towel into 1/8. Then you can take one sheet and insert it into the filter pocket like so. We now have a completed mask. The wire and the filter can be easily removed for washing and replacement. The mask should fit securely on the face, hugging the nose and covering the chin. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and stay safe.